Welcome to World Tide News, where we navigate the powerful currents shaping our world. Today we turn our lens to Ethiopia, a nation struggling for direction amid escalating regional tension, ethnic unrest, and mounting fears of fragmentation in the Horn of Africa. While interviewing Eskinder Nega, chairman of the Amhara Fano People's Organization, TRT World Newsmakers host Andrea Sankey set the stage with unflinching candor.
Does Ethiopia face greater threats from abroad or from within? Just a few weeks ago, it was potential war with Eritrea causing the most concern. But today, a war in the second largest state of Amhara looks even more threatening. As the Amhara Fano People's Organization claims ethnic cleansing by the government in Addis is another brutal civil war set to intensify in Ethiopia. I'm Andrea Sankey, and today's newsmaker is Amhara. Well, it's difficult to find as fractured a country as Ethiopia, with different states and tribes claiming ethnic cleansing and even genocide at the hands of the government, as well as various militia. For years, the state of Tigray had the world's attention as a brutal war played out there, and now the front has moved to Amhara. Amharan militia had earlier fought alongside government and Eritrean troops against Tigrayan forces, only to claim later they were betrayed by leaders in Addis. So today, it's Amharan militia claiming they are under attack and being ethnically cleansed. So is that the case? Or is an ethno-nationalist rebellion further destabilizing a country that is desperately seeking unity?
Sankey described Ethiopia as one of the most fractured countries in the world, highlighting brutal wars, competing claims of ethnic cleansing and genocide, and the complex web of insecurity and humanitarian catastrophe that threatens the nation's future. Against this dramatic backdrop, Eskinder Nega brought foundational questions to the fore.
We see that the solution is not in ethnicity. We see that the solution is not in identity politics. Ethiopia has to move beyond ethnic politics. We believe in that. So this is like, this is like an antidote to the politicization of ethnicity. That's our ultimate goal. But to do that, first we have to defend ourselves. We have to defend ourselves on the basis of ethnicity. But the end result, we recognize that the end result, that the way for this nation to come out of this crisis, out of this permanent, cycle of war, is to move the country and the nation, our politics, beyond ethnicity.
Eskinder argued that Ethiopia's ethnic-based federal constitution perpetuates division and bloodshed, a view shared by many reformers and analysts. For decades, the system has prioritized ethnic identity over national citizenship, fueling mistrust and rivalry between regions. The result is that nearly every major region maintains its own militia, with powerful factions in Tigray, Oromo, and Somali regions fiercely defending the ethnic federal framework that underpins their autonomy. This institutionalized division has created political gridlock, recurring violence, and put the very existence of Ethiopia at risk.
Promoting national unity or risking further instability. Ethiopia is facing major backlash against a decision to dissolve regional forces across 11 states. The move to merge them into the National Army triggered violent protests in Amhara province. Have regional forces been betrayed, or is this a necessary step toward ending ethnic division in the country?
Yet Eskinder's stance reveals a stark contradiction. While advocating for the dismantling of ethnic federalism, he leads an armed struggle as the Amhara Fano, a movement mobilized along ethnic lines for self-defense. This tension raises the critical question: how can a movement based on ethnic identity champion a future that moves beyond ethnicity? How can Ethiopia reconcile the need to overcome ethnic divisions while groups mobilize on those grounds for survival? World Tide News editorial analysis contends that Eskinder's struggle, rooted in the defense of the Amhara people, prompts a vital national reckoning. We ask, how can Ethiopia break free from this constitutional and political trap? What realistic strategies are available to reformers confronting mistrust and weaponized regionalism if they seek genuine transformation. The answer will not be found through arms alone or imposed solutions. What Ethiopia requires is something long overdue: a bold, inclusive, and honest national conversation, examining citizenship, the balance of rights and responsibilities, and the future role of regional autonomy. Lessons from divided societies and world-tide news analysis point to a challenging but urgent path. Forge broad alliances across ethnic lines, uniting those exhausted by cycles of violence and central government failure. Mobilize non-violent civic efforts to bring popular pressure to bear in negotiations, resisting the lure of further bloodshed. Engage the international community and diaspora, reframing the debate in terms of democratic inclusion and peace. Champion an inclusive constitutional convention in which all regions, movements, and sectors of civil society participate. Eschewing domination by the gun or entrenched elites, Ethiopia's future now hangs precariously in the balance. Persisting with ethnic federalism portends deeper fragmentation, recurring conflict, economic decay, and humanitarian crisis. The risk looms: another Rwanda, the possible disintegration of Ethiopia itself. Resolving Ethiopia's crisis ultimately demands courageous leadership, a willingness to transcend identity-based politics, and a genuine leap toward shared citizenship grounded in inclusive governance. The contradictions within movements like Fano embody the struggle itself, a fight not just for survival, but for the vision of a unified Ethiopia beyond division. This may be the hardest task Ethiopia has ever faced, but if this moment is lost, so too may be the nation's hope for peace, unity, and a future that honors its storied history and the aspirations of its people. This is likely Ethiopia's most perilous and critical moment in modern history. Missing this opportunity could mean the loss of peace, unity, and the future envisioned by generations. This is world-tide news. If you value staying informed about the forces shaping our world, please like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next report. Thank you for watching.